71. Varana Jataka. Yo paba karanin, pachja so katuchhathi varna kathana chavasa pachjamnotapati di. Moreover, Tiloguru Buddha, who has Sri Padma, which is adorned with chakra characteristics, used to worship at Devram Vehera. Kutumbiya Puttatissa Sthavira said this birth. One day, about 30 caste sons who were residents of Savit and supported by each other took fragrant flowers and water from the sage and were escorted by the people of Asamher and went to Jetavana. Beautified while working in Buddhasana Mastaka, the caste sons and their entourage went to the Damsabha Mandapam and offered fragrant flowers etc. to the Supreme Being and bowed down to Sri Padadvadaya, who was as beautiful as a blooming lotus with the lower petals marked with chakras, and sat down and asked the Dhamma. At that time, the sons of that caste had a thought like this. When he came out of the Dam Sabha Mandapam, the omniscient sage said, "If we know the Dharma taught by the Lord Buddha, then if we know it, then we are left to cultivate." The Almighty gave them the kingdom. He always admired Acharya Upadhyaya, worked closely with him, mastered both topics, learned the three types of praises, knitted robes, and prayed to him. People are afraid of dying from diseases. In order to get rid of our samsara, he invited us to pray. Sarvajanana selected the dedicated karmasthans from among the 38 monks' karmasthans and examined them. That bhikkhu took Kamathan close to the Omniscient One, bowed down to the Buddha, went to the temple, saw Acharya Upadhyaya, took his robes and went out to sow. Then, among all of them, one monk named Kutumbiya Puttatissa Sthavira died. Pursue your dreams. He was greedy for taste. He thought thus, I failed to live in the wild, nor to strive nor to beg. So what is the use of travel for me? The monk who hesitated not to go, went and stayed for a while. The rest of the monks also went to a certain village during the 3 months of the Kosal Danva, during the 3 months of the Pasal Danva, and because of that village, during the 3 months of the Vasan, they performed hard work in a forest, and during the 3 months of the Vasan, they became pregnant with more than Vidarshan, and by doing Mahikampa, they reached the fruit of Ahat, and at the end of the Vasant, they told the sages about the virtues that had been cultivated. Hare came out of that forest and gradually came to Jetavana. After seeing Dr. Upadhyaya, leaving his robes, he approached the Lord Buddha and worshipped him, desiring to see the Omniscient One again. The sage had a sweet conversation with that monk. As long as there were good speeches made by that bhikkhu, the virtues and doctrines laid down by him were now for the Omniscient. Said Lord Buddha also praised that monk. At that time, the Kutubibiya Puttatissa heard the story of the virtues of that monk to the sage and wished to be anointed. That remaining monk asked the Lord whether we should go to the Amma forest and sleep. At that time the monk worshipped Lord Buddha and went to his retinue. After that, as the householder Puttatissa Sthavira was sewing at great speed in the middle of the night with great effort, he fell down while sleeping and broke his thigh bone. The remaining monks tied medicine etc. to him and used it. Then, when that monk also came at the time of service, the all-known monk asked if he had said something loud to us. Yes, sir, saying something. However, the family that supported us, Puttatissa Sthaviriyonevel, was being stitched up at high speed and fell down in his sleep and broke his femur. Because of them, our journey will be hindered. At that time, O Master of the All-Knowing One, he was chasing his dreams and racing at high speed and endangering your journey. The Buddha, who was invited by those monks, said, Did this person endanger your journey before? On the last day, in the city of Taxala in Gandhara country, the Bodhi animals were Disapomokacharis and taught the art to 500 people. Then one day the human beings went to the forest to fetch firewood and cut firewood. Among them, a human being of Kusita saw a large Lunavarana tree and blinked a little as a sign that it was a dead tree, then climbed up the tree and cut the wood to take it away and fell asleep crying. The rest of the people carry bundles of firewood. That treasured human being was beaten by the back. That wretched human being stood up and wiped his eyes with sleep and did not let sleep escape. He climbed the salt tree and grabbed a branch and pulled it towards him. He wiped his eye with the end of the broken branch. The goats are the goats produced by humans. On that day, the acharyas were tasked to pacify a caste of human beings in a village of Danav and give them knowledge and dictionary. At that time, the acharyas would say to the human beings, "Children, they must go to one village. Therefore, if you are unable to fast every day, cook porridge and eat it in the morning, and take the portion you receive in the portion that came to us together and send it." Hearing this, the human beings raised the girl to cook the porridge and immediately told us to cook the porridge. Taking firewood to cook that Kelly porridge, Matte Tubu took the Amulanuvrana rods and lit the fire again and the sun rose without stopping. The humans left in the late afternoon. Acharyas went closer saying that they would not accept to go now. Acharya says, "Children, ask why not go." "Yes." Acharan said, "Why didn't you go when you didn't go?" "Lord, the poor human being went to the forest with us and hit the root of a Salunvarna tree. Then the father immediately climbed up the tree and took the raw Salunvarna wood. The person cooking the porridge blew on the fire with the signal that the dry wood was burning and did not extinguish the fire until it rose and said that our journey would be hindered by this matter." When the acharyas heard the actions of the human beings, this kind of gain was lost due to the actions of the ignorant creatures. If the good deeds done first are not checked and then the good deeds are done later, that ignorant person will come to the afterlife and cry in grief like a human who brought raw salt and selected firewood. They died as usual and went to the next world. Lord Buddha, the sage, said, "He who has made your journey dangerous is not now, but he has done it in the past." At the same time, the man who came to the division of eyes is the Mahana who has now come to the division of pigs. The rest of the human beings are now this group of Buddhas. Dr. Brahman said to himself if Tiloguru Samyak Sambudhu was the king himself.